All right, with that being said, I don't know what this human resources issue is on here, so whoever, I don't know who put it on the agenda.
It was actually sent to the agenda from the council meeting of last month. I mean, you were at that council meeting, weren't you?
Yes, I was.
We made a motion and sent it to the personnel committee to look at different aspects of our hiring process and make sure we're in EEOC compliant.
As far as what I've seen, we are in compliance with EEOC. Our department heads have been given the okay according to our policies to hire and to terminate, and that we don't. I don't see where we're breaking any.
What is our hiring policy? As far as I know, we don't have one. As far as advertising our jobs.
As far as advertising jobs, whenever we do get a position, it's up to that department head to either advertise, or if they have applications on file that they can pull from to hire, then they would do this.
So there is no hiring policy to make sure we're not discriminating against people. So department heads can just hire anybody they want to.
People that they feel are qualified for the job, they aren't just hiring anybody they want to.
But there's no advertising of the job to make sure that we're not discriminating against somebody who might want it or might not know about it.
If they have applications on file that they could pull from a job that they've already advertised for, then they could do that.
So once again, there is no policy as far as the guidelines for a hiring process.
We don't have a policy for that. Now, if council want to develop a policy, then we can do that.
Because I've known of a few people who have been hired lately that the job was not advertised at all. And that is against EEOC compliance. That's a federal law. We have more than 15 employees. We need to have a hiring process that is not discriminatory. And hiring people by word of mouth is discriminatory.
Well, from my information, what I've gathered, then unless we need to develop a hiring policy, then we're fine. You know.
From what I was taught in class, we're not fine.
Well, Mayor, you know, a lot of times when you go to these classes and things that they tell you in these classes is so broad that it could fit any spectrum, and we have to bring it back to see if it's going to fit what we're doing, you know, so what might apply to a city larger than ours or smaller than ours might not apply to our city.
Well, according to what I was taught, when I asked specifically about the federal law to make sure we were in guidelines of being an equal opportunity employer, since we have more than 15 employees, we can't discriminate in our hiring process, which means you just can't hire who you want to unless you advertise the job in a non-discriminatory way.
Let me say that I may have misinterpreted the committee meeting. I mean the council meeting. I think I understood now that I didn't prepare this for today. I've looked into it a little bit based on what the mayor said, but I thought we were going to send this to a special committee, not to be handled today. So I didn't prepare for it. So forgive me for that.
We just made a motion. We made a motion in council to send it to personnel committee, and that's why it's on the agenda.
I didn't get with you because, you know, get your legal opinion about it, because, you know, that's what has been in our personnel policy handbook. So, you know, unless we change the policy handbook, then, you know,
But there is nothing in our policy handbook that determines our hiring process. There's nothing there that I saw. Nothing. Well, it's left up to a department head. So a department head can hire his neighbor if they want to.
Yeah. Well, that's the policy. That's in the policy book.
But that's not. So that's not federal law says you can't do that. You can't be discriminatory in your hiring process if you're an equal opportunity employer. That's the law. I don't care what the policy says or doesn't say.
That's just about like putting out a bid for a car.
That's right.
I don't have to buy that old car, new car. I still can come back and do what I like to do.
That's right. So you can hire your neighbor if you want to, as long as you advertise the job and it's available for anybody to apply. Now, once you get all your applicants in, if your neighbor is your best choice, then you can hire your neighbor. But you just can't hire your neighbor unless you advertise the job.
If I could just look into it a little bit, give me some time to look into it, see if we need to have some more specific policies to stay in compliance with them.
But being an equal opportunity employer. Now, because what I asked specifically in that meeting too, a human resources person who was also there was an attorney there. If you are a federal equal opportunity employer under federal guidelines, some of these things, if we're not compliant with federal guidelines, we can't get federal grants.
Or you gonna tell her we didn't abide by the rules and regulation, then, and that we won't get a grant?
John, you gonna look into it?
I just want to be, when I learn something in a class that I see
Man,
is,
what you talking about, we learned this 20 years ago, and it doesn't even apply to us too much.
Yeah, I guess that's all we got. We'll get back.
and the other,
Create a hiring
Call a
policy.
meeting and decide what we're gonna do, or how we're gonna.
and the other thing was, pulling driving records for people that drive, city vehicles. We don't currently do that. Pulling criminal records for people that are around city funds, we don't currently do that. Pulling credit report records for people who are in control of a budget, we don't currently do that. We don't currently do anything except hire who we want to.
Mayor, I'm gonna say this, and this is my own observation. Since you have been mayor, rather than us just sitting down to talk about these things, to find out what direction you want to go with this, it seems like you are always constantly trying to find something to say that I got you, you know, ever since that you've been mayor, and what I feel like you need to do in these situations, let us know what it is that you're asking for.
I did in
And
the
then
council meeting.
we can straighten it out and get it all, because I'm not trying to do anything illegal, and I know nobody here around this table is trying to do anything illegal. But if we need to change policy, then let's look at it in a professional manner and move on with it, you know.
Mr.
You know,
Tuff.
so that's all I'm saying. It just seems like that we're just, you know, we're constantly digging for stuff rather than trying to sit down at the table like gentlemen and solve whatever problems that we've got to solve, you know.
All right, Mr. Tufts, are you ready for me? I went to a human resources class provided by Georgia Municipal Association where I learned some facts. I put those facts in the meeting, last council meeting, and then made a motion to send the concerns to this committee, which was the most professional way I know to do it. Now, when this human resources issue was on the personnel committee as something on the agenda, you acted like you didn't know anything about it. When it was clearly that you're the one that seconded the motion to send them to the committee, which we're at now. We're sitting around the table like adults.
And I looked at it, and I didn't find where we were violating any policy. So that's why, you know, after I did that, then it was gone, you know, as far as I was concerned. So now we're asking our attorney to look at it, and we can get a legal opinion about it so that we can resolve it, if you don't mind.
That's why it's on here.
Okay, all right.